You ready? Welcome, everyone, to the Budget Public Forum. We're going to call to order at 1:30. First up is our Chief Financial Officer, Brad Johnson. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the board, Mr. Superintendent, on March 15th and April 19th, Financial Services presented the tentative 2019 budget to the board. The CCSD annual budget development process is probably one of the most impactful strategic tasks that the board engages in each year. You will remember that we had previously presented the 2019 budget calendar. Budget calendar is a finance organizing document to ensure that the district has a professional, organized process in which to produce a $1 billion budget. The calendar represents a variety of tasks that must be completed in a sequence of events to ensure that the final product produces organized information so that the superintendent and the board will have the data and the estimates they need to make the best possible decisions. A review of the calendar document shows that the preparation of the budget began back in November of last year to prepare a project personnel allotments based on student counts and instructional needs. The budget department begins its preparation on about the same time frame to compile literally tens of thousands of salary, benefit, and operating accounts organized by business functions for review by the supervisor of each business function. The budget department has detailed instruction for each department and function on their review of their accounts. The process ensures that every single account is reviewed on an annual basis. The budget department compiles all this information for presentation to the superintendent for his review and input. Just as in the previous year, it is the superintendent's task to present a balanced budget to the board that has sufficient resources to maintain good operations for the district. Beginning in late February and March, the superintendent and executive cabinet finalized the tentative budget for presentation to the board. As a result, that brings us to today as we continue the budget development process. Along with budget preparation and board meetings on the budget process also invites citizen review and comments on the tentative budget. We have already conducted a budget hearing on April 19th to receive Cobb County citizen input on the budget, and today we are scheduled to conduct another budget hearing per state requirements. The final legal adoption of the 2019 budget is scheduled for approval later tonight at the voting meeting. Highlights of the tentative budget for 2019 include the following. The 2019 tentative general fund budget presented today is balanced. The proposal utilizes $7.8 million in fund balance. The proposal contains no millage increase as the millage rate presented remains at 18.9 mils. The proposal contains a salary step for eligible employees based on their salary schedule, and those steps can be anywhere between an average of 1.5% to 3% depending on where you are on the salary scale. The proposal contains a 1.1% bonus for non-238-day employees. The proposal contains a decrease in the work year for 238-day employees in lieu of a bonus. And then as a result of the elimination of the austerity cuts at the state level, the budget now contains a 1.1% salary increase for all permanent employees. And finally, there is an increase in the instructional position pool from 6 to 19 positions. All budget information that is presented during the budget development process is available for public review on the internet in the form of budget documents and videos of the budget discussions. So, Mr. Chair, that is my introduction today for the budget public hearing, and we welcome comments today on the 2019 tentative budget.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Doyle, do we have one commenter or commenter?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have one speaker. How much time can we allot?
3 minutes.
Very good. Our first and only speaker is Tommy Stevens, who will discuss teacher pay raises.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, board members, and Superintendent, I may not need 3 minutes, so I'm a quick speaker. I'm here on behalf of Educators First, and we're advocating, obviously, for teacher pay raise for our members and all other educators in Cobb County. We feel like they do a terrific job here, and they very much need to be rewarded for that service. However, we do recognize, and I do especially because I was a superintendent for 19 years. I've been through this process many times. So I know there's a very difficult decisions to be made, and I know that it's very difficult to determine where to allot the money. We do appreciate the fact that you have placed a priority on giving teachers and educators a pay raise, and that you have allotted most of the austerity cut money that's coming back to you for that purpose. So we do want to thank you for that on behalf of our members and on behalf of the educators. We would like to recommend and would be glad to serve in any way that we could possibly help, but we would like to see a dialogue opened and maybe a committee formed to really study how we can increase teacher pay even more than is planned for this year, because I think this should be just a first step to getting the pay up to where it really needs to be. And we're not in a position that we would tell you how to get that, but I think that could be determined through some kind of committee process, but whether it be through millage increase, sales tax, reallocation of funds, any number of ways. So we would like to see an open dialogue on that, and that be continued. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
That's our final speaker, Mr. Chairman. So you're able to adjourn whenever you like.
Let's give it 10 more minutes in case anybody comes in, and then we can adjourn. Without objection, with no public speakers, we are adjourned.
There you go. All right.